Hello students, welcome to the class of General English. Today I will teach you the next poem, Death Be Not Proud by Donne. Donne, the founder of the metaphysical school of poetry, was born in a Catholic family in 1572. He is known for the electrifying sermons he delivered, but is best known for his poems, among which the sonnets stand out. His sonnets deal with the grave aspects of life. Death Be Not Proud presents an argument against the power of death. Addressing death as a person, the speaker warns death against pride in his power. This is the 10th poem in his collection, Holy Sonnets, Death Be Not Proud. This is a poem of 14 lines. This sonnet was published posthumously in 1633. The poet, as a staunch Catholic, believed in rebirth. वो रीबर्थ यानी कि पुनर्जन्म में विश्वास करता था, जो जॉन डन जो कवि है इस कविता का. The poem is an expression of this belief that death is like a sleep after which one can wake with more vigor and power. Death cannot overtake anyone. It is slave to fate, chance, king and desperate man. Thus, death cannot kill anyone on its own. And the poet therefore suggests death be not proud because it is not mighty and powerful. Death consequently is no more than a sleep, a long sleep, no doubt, but a sleep from which there is a waking. ऐसी नींद है जिससे कि हम जाग जाते हैं. एक लंबी नींद है लेकिन उससे हम जाग जाते हैं. Moreover, while it lasts, it is a restful sleep. The poem. The poet criticizes death as a slave to other forces, fate, chance, kings, and desperate men. Death is not in control, for a variety of other powers exercise their violation in taking lives, even in the rest it brings. Death is inferior to drugs. Finally, the speaker predicts the end of death itself, standing, Death, thou shalt die. The poem is a Petrarchan sonnet. It is also known as Italian and Miltonic sonnet, and therefore consists of the octave and the sestet. There are two parts. This poem is divided in octave and sestet. In the octave, the poet asks death not to be puffed up with pride, for it is not mighty and dreadful, neither can it will kill anyone. Death is much more pleasant than sleep, for it gives rest to our body and release to our soul. In the concluding 6 lines forming the sestet, the poet says that death is a slave because it can come only when we are fated to die or are consigned to death by our fellow human beings or fall victim to accident or sickness. Death is like a short sleep, for after death also one is reborn. The Christian belief that at the end of the world all the dead will rise from their graves and appear before God for the final judgment underlines the poem. पोयम में क्रिश्चियन बिलीफ को स्ट्रॉन्गली इस बिलीफ को पुटअप करता है कवि कि एट द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, क्रिश्चियंस में एक बिलीफ है कि संसार का जब अंत हो जाता है तो सभी मृत आत्माएं वो उठ खड़ी होती हैं अपनी कब्र में से और ईश्वर के सामने अपीयर होती हैं, और वो को क्या कहा जाता है? फाइनल जजमेंट, द डे ऑफ जजमेंट। तो इस पोयम में डन इसी बिलीफ को बताता है। Donne taps into his Christian background to point out that death has no power and one day will cease to exist. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou thinkest thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me from rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be. Much pleasure then from thee, much more must flow, and soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and soul's delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and dost with poison, war, and sickness dwell, and poppy or charms can make us sleep as well. And better than thy stroke, wise swellest thou then, one short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. So, Donne taps into his Christian background to point out that death has no power and one day will cease to exist. Thank you.